Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Vader 400, and of course the brown skin human coming back at you with another movie series review intro. My previous movie series review intro, whenever I uploaded to YouTube, for some odd reason, the newest, the Crush 40 upload of Sonic What I'm Made Of, their uploaded version for some odd reason has a copyright on it, and whenever I see, and the copyright is actually not a problem according to YouTube, but if I ever want to set this account up for monetization, it will be a problem. So I'm going to do a remade version using two non-copyrighted songs. Even though this is an intro for movie reviews and rants, the What I'm Made Of will from now on this channel will only be the outro, and I'll use one of the old school non-copyrighted uploads of Sonic What I'm Made Of. The intros will feature the Sonic Heroes theme, which I haven't used in a long time, and of course the iconic We Can that I use a lot now. Yeah. Everywhere on every other platform, the intros, I will use the old intro. So with that being said, let's get started right now. Alright, it's time for part one. It's time for part one of my it's time for the second part of part one of my Spider-Man Far From Home review series. Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man Far From Home. I've been excited for Spider-Man Far From Home ever since the post-credit scene with not Electro but Mysterio in Spider-Man Far From Home, and I couldn't wait, and I couldn't wait until what was it? And I couldn't wait until and I couldn't wait till Spider-Man 3 to see how everything was going to unfold. As more news about what Spider-Man 3 was going to be, including rumors that it was going to be a multiverse movie, my excitement went up, then dropped. Because if it's a multiverse movie, that means one certain terrible actor in garbage Spider-Man, the worst superhero movie actor ever, Andrew Garfield, could return, and could return, and I tried, I didn't want that. I tried everything in my power to avoid those spoilers. I unsubscribed every website that kept hyping Andrew Garfield's return. Tobey Maguire, yeah, I want to see Tobey Maguire back. Yeah, detractors keep for some odd reason, whenever I bring up the problems with Andrew Garfield, these idiots keep lumping Tobey in with it. No, it's Andrew Garfield I didn't want, dumbasses, assholes. It's Andrew Garfield in his film series. Tobey Maguire, wherever he is, I want to see where his character is. Where his and, well, most of the characters from the Tobey Maguire are dead, but all the ones who are still alive, where are they, quote unquote, now? Where are they, quote unquote, now? That's what I want. That's what I want to see. Andrew Garfield, who cares where any of those characters are? Bury it, erase that universe, use the Infinity Gauntlet to wipe it from which I don't care where Garfield is now. So and it looked like for a while, Tom Holland came out and said, Andrew Garfield and Tobey aren't going to be in there, even though Tobey I knew was going to be. I felt they were trying to hide his appearance. I knew Tobey was going to be, but Andrew Garfield, the whole thing seems to be a multiverse between it. They made it seem like a multiverse between the original Spider-Man 2002, the original Sam Raimi trilogy in the MCU. There was no trace of Andrew Garfield's, and I even got on people for that. As soon as they said Jamie Foxx's Electro, those people had the audacity to sit up there and immediately think a multiverse movie with no proof, no anything. Just think, Andrew Garfield's coming back. Just because Jamie Foxx, not understanding that this Jamie Foxx was not the Jamie Foxx. For one, he's going to be yellow. And then I hate and like the way they hit it. I like the way they hit it. I like and hate the way they hit it. In order to hide that it was the Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they gave him a brand new origin in this film, in the Wikipedia portion, where they gave him a brand new origin, which had something that lined up with his comic book character of him being an electric tradesman who gets electric powers after an accident, instead of that stupid Amazing Spider-Man 2 storyline where he was an electrician for Oscorp, which he never was, and he fell into a vat of ills, got bit by the ills, exploded, and somehow boom, became electric powers. When in the original, it was just a regular guy working on a power line, getting hit by lightning, acquiring electric powers, and after accidentally killing someone, decided he was gonna be a guide. He was gonna walk on everyone else and take whatever he wanted, instead of that laying nobody bullshit that we saw in the last one. This was going to be Electro as he was meant to be, as he was quote unquote meant to be, and it made it seem like he could be, and I'm mad he wasn't. That he could easily be from this time. He could easily be from from Tom Holland's universe, universe. But then the first two trailers dropped, and the trailers look good. Yes, Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland. That's all we need. And Doctor Strange. That's all you need to take on the numerous villains in the film. Do you need pussy ass and Venom, who I expected. Tom Hardy's Venom. That is enough right there to take on the villains. I'm gonna get the Venom in a minute. But that's enough to take on all the villains. Do you really need pussy ass Andrew Garfield? No, you don't. But then the third teaser trailer where they showed elements of Andrew Garfield's universe. They revealed Lizard, and then we saw the scene where Michelle was falling just like Gwen Stacy. Like, oh, cool, he's in the film, and we're there. I decided I didn't want to see the film, or I actually planned as one of my birthday or Christmas presents was to see it with a special friend, friend of mine, with a best friend of mine. See the film with best friend of mine. I still want to see it in theaters because even though I've seen it, it deserves a theater experience. This leak shot was entertaining enough, but no, that deserves a big budget everything, not some crappy leak shot with people laughing, people standing up in the theater with poor quality, which is what I watch, which is what I've been seeing which is what I've watched multiple times now. So I'm still gonna, but I did not want to pay a ticket to see Garfield, and I damn sure didn't want to pay a ticket to see Garfield return and steal the spotlight from Holland and everyone else in the film, everyone else in the movie, because I hated Andrew Garfield. I hate the Sony Spider-Man, and I hate anyone who likes. I don't have a problem with people liking it, but who defend and excuse that garbage when there is no defending and excusing those movies, and basically blocked anybody who came up here talking about some amazing stuff, talking about Andrew Garfield being in the film, being filmed. But when I saw the film, there are issues, but when I saw the film, it was the greatest thing ever, and I was in a foul mood that entire day, and the film put me in a much better mood. Once again, MCU, whenever I doubt them, they always make me eat my words. They always exceed my expectations. They always exceed my expectations. They did more than exceed my expectations. They managed to do something that I didn't think was possible. They managed to make the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies good. Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is one of the worst actors ever, and is the worst superhero actor ever. I don't know anybody who was as bad in their role as a superhero than Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker Spider-Man. People need to stop saying he's a good actor. He wasn't. And he, along with Mark Webb and Sony, killed the Amazing Spider-Man. It was all three of them together. It was all three of those components together. Garfield is humble now because people like myself have given him hell for his horrible portrayal in these storylines. He wasn't passionate about the character. He was a preachy, pretentious douchebag. Arrogant, preachy, pretentious douchebag who wanted to turn Peter Parker Spider-Man into what him and Sony and Mark wanted to turn into what they wanted, instead of following the damn source material. If they were passionate, they would have followed it as it was, not turn it into something that Peter Parker and Spider-Man and the entire series was not. And that was the issue I have with Andrew Garfield. Firstly, the film wasn't centered around him. All you people out there saying, oh, Andrew Garfield stole the show. No, he didn't. He wasn't even in the film long enough to steal the show. Him and Toby were in an hour and 30 minutes into the film, and then it was mostly, notice how it was Toby and Tom Holland's universe carrying this films. Electro, Andrew Garfield, and Lizard were just quote unquote third. We're just second and third and fourth in Lizard's case wheels to Tom Holland's and Tobey Maguire's universe. Notice they used Tobey Maguire's Green Goblin. They used Norman Osborn. They didn't use the crappy Dave DeHaan, Harry Osborn, and Chris Cooper, the worst goblins ever. They used William Dafoe's Goblin. They used William Dafoe's Green Goblin from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. They used his Green Goblin. His was superior and was closer to what it was. What it was. They used him to carry the film in the final battle. It was mostly Toby and Holland, with only Andrew Garfield watching like he should be, and throwing the container at the end when quote unquote throwing the antidote at the end. But yeah, they only needed Garfield to get rid of Electro in a quick entertaining but anticlimactic battle that could barely see what was happening, which barely see what was happening. Then you had what was his face? What's his face? Then you had quote unquote what's his face? Then you had and they get rid of Lizard. They get rid of Lizard too. They get rid of quote unquote Lizard too. That was the only thing Garfield was here for. That was the only thing Garfield was here for. But Andrew Garfield, in a movie that's not centered around him, where he's a character as a third wheeling character in other people's movies, he's okay. Yeah, Garfield, as much as I hate the bastard, him being in Avengers, him being in any form of Avengers, like Avengers based movie from now on, Avengers based movie, I have no problem with him being a character in other people's films. But him a film onto himself, no. Yes, we already got the idiots out there, the Sony fans out there, who now that they got the closure they want with the Garfield in his universe, need to freaking go back into the hole they crawled out of. You need to go back into the hole. You need to go back into the hole you crawled out of. It's over. Andrew Garfield had his time. Let Holland have his time. That's another thing I can't stand about Andrew Garfield fans. Not only can they not accept that his stuff sucks, but they try to talk shit. They try to discredit the Sam Raimi and Tom Holland movies that have earned everything that they have. The Amazing Spider-Man didn't earn anything. They didn't earn anything. They didn't respect anybody. They didn't respect comic book fans. They didn't respect the average moviegoer. They thought we were all dumb and stupid like you were. Wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Wouldn't be able to tell the quote unquote difference. But it goes to show you, man. Yeah, and just a couple of small rewrites with the same characters, you can make the best movies, the worst movies in this universe. They managed to do the impossible, make the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 good. Oh, Jamie Foxx Electro, while being the same character, acting more how Electro is in the comics, while also modernizing it, making it basically known. He was more aggressive, he was more confident in his abilities, and he was more like the character. In the comic books, when the character got his powers, it was the other way around. Instead of people walking over him, he was going to walk all over everyone else now. He was going to do what he wanted. He was going to be a god. He was going to take what he wanted. He was the antithesis to Peter Parker's with great power comes with great responsibility. Why do great things with that power? When you have the power Electro has, you can basically take anything you want, man. And that was what was here. That was what was quote unquote in this film. Then you got Lizard. He barely even spoke in the film, which was good because the actor, I guess, was okay. The actor was okay, but the actor was okay, but he was horribly miscast as Lizard. He was horribly miscast as Lizard. I can't pronounce his name. He was horribly miscast as Lizard, and he helped tank the Amazing Spider-Man 2012 with his horrible overacting and cheesy backstory and comic motivations. Here, for all the people saying Andrew Garfield's which guy, he barely even spoke. They just quickly brought up his plan. He was mostly here for laughs because he sucked. But he was okay here as a fourth wheel to the other villains. Even Joe Jonah Jameson was more important than Lizard in this quote unquote movie. So all you people who are now trying to say this redeemed Andrew Garfield. No, Andrew Garfield was only good the same reason Zendaya Coleman, who also sucks in my opinion. The only reason these people are good because they're in the MCU. They have the MCU machine behind them. The MCU machine and MCU writers are that damn good. They can make anybody seem good. They have the MCU, and then they're surrounded by better actors and better actresses. Tobey Maguire's applause, which was in Mind League version, was louder. They applaud louder for him, and you see more memes of his Spider-Man. So it was what you call it, favorite scene was the final battle between Tom Holland and William Dafoe's Spider-Man and Green Goblin, respectively. That entire final battle, what a final battle! The entire final battle, all of the supervillain scenes. Who stole the show? The supervillain scenes, the supervillain scenes, and every other scene in the movie. the MCU trilogy. Unlike Andrew Garfield's, I excuse them for not following the comics because I always say it when it comes to comic book adaptations, either number one, follow the comic books, or be as close as the source material as possible. If you can't or don't want to do that, make something that's just as good as the source material, or third, the impossible. Make something that's better than the source material. And the MCU did 2 and 3, and they did the impossible 3. I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man, period. Second is Sam Raimi. Third is the 90s Spider-Man adaptations. Fourth and fifth is the 60s, 70s, and 80s adaptation. Is the 60s and 80s comic books and adaptations. And last but not least, six. Last but not least, number six. Number six. The worst is the amazing in 2000s based Spider-Man comic book and adaptations. So yeah, this was bigger, badder from a development standpoint, from a character development standpoint. The comic books are still superior storyline and development wise because they have more when it comes to spectacle and realism. When it comes to spectacle and realism, the MCU and the Sam Raimi trilogy, when it comes to Spider-Man, cannot be topped. When it comes to spectacle, realism, and more importantly, the character journey of Spider-Man, his journey in these movies was written better than anything in the comic book version of Peter Parker of Spider-Man. That's why I excuse Holland's universe for not quote unquote following the comic books, and will not excuse Andrew Garfield's. Andrew Garfield, not only did they not follow the comic books, they just threw some stuff together to keep the rights. They didn't even care if the films were good, and they didn't care if the films were good, and they were the worst films ever. So not only were they not good, but they weren't equal to or better than the source material. What else about these movies, man? So, yeah, awesome film. Then you had the tragic ending with Aunt May. That also made me not want to see the film. I kind of spoiled myself before I saw the movie reading the script. I usually forget about what I saw in the script, what I read in the script when I see movies, and then I remember Aunt May dying and loved the way it was handled and hated it so much, but it was done real well. And see, I hated Aunt May dying and the spell at the end because I like these versions of the characters. These are some of the best versions of the characters in a long time. They exceeded their original versions, which is why I tolerate the changes and stuff versus Andrew Garfield and his universe and the changes they made to the characters. Quote unquote characters. So yeah, the the end with the spell at the end with this where everyone forgets who he was. Everyone quote unquote forgets who Peter Parker Spider-Man was. So what else about this movie, man? This was my review of Spider-Man No Way Home. An awesome film, man, and the best of 2021. One of the best of 2021, and one of the greatest movies of the pandemic. Probably the greatest movie of the pandemic, and this was bigger and better than Endgame. In my opinion. So, congratulations to Marvel. Once again, they've outdone themselves. The follow-up reviews the follow-up off-camera reviews will be in the description box below, where I also give my thoughts on the future of Tom Holland's Spider-Man from now after seeing this movie. So with that being said, you want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.